Hi, folks. 13 days ago, I began eating only sardines, and my intention is to eat the sardines from February 18th all the way through Lent and begin eating the carnivore diet again on Easter. I want to start with talking about ketones. On February 18th, my ketones were zero point 0.3, my glucose 88, and my GKI 16.2. After eating a carnivore diet for 2 years and not doing any fasting for probably 3 weeks before that, I was not in ketosis. That's okay, because I have 40 days to get into ketosis. My ketones began going up, 0.8 the next day, 1.6. I was in ketosis 2 days after on February 20th, the 21st, 3.1. And I wanted to get my ketones under 2 because that is the highest therapeutic level of ketosis. On February 22nd, my GKI was 1.5, ketones 2.4, glucose 66. So that was February 22nd, and that continued all the way up until yesterday. My ketones in the morning were 2.4, my GKI was 1.5, and my glucose was 69. On Thursday, 8 days after I started the sardine diet, my GKI was 0.7, my ketones were 4.8, and my glucose was down to 69. So I was a little concerned about my numbers, so I decided to call a friend. And this is what she said.
Hello, Diane Ladd from Boston. I love your experiment for Lent. That is a great idea. Those ketones look fine. They'll be fine. You should just enjoy the bragging rights. When you start on a sardine like that, especially with resistance, you're going to see ketones overshoot. And that's not bad. It's that it will not be that way forever. So enjoy the ketones. It's an excess production of energy. Think of it as a survival benefit for what people need versus what they produce. And then as time goes on, your body will stop overproducing it. But enjoy the ketones. It should feel good.
Thank you, Dr. Boz. So that day I felt pretty energetic. However, I was feeling shaky at the same time. Part of me was feeling energetic, but the other part of me was feeling fatigued. It was a really odd feeling. It was almost like I was kind of burning out in a way, and I made sure I rested for the rest of the day. But the following day, I started getting a headache, and I started still feeling very kind of shaky, kind of like I had low blood sugar. And this feeling continued. Sunday, I took a walk with my husband, and a symptom started coming on. The symptom was that slurred speech that I got at the very start of MS. That feeling like my lips were numb and my tongue was numb, but it was a little bit different. The tongue was numb in the middle of my tongue, and my lips were not numb, but I had a hard time articulating. I had a hard time speaking. That lasted for about an hour. So I took note of it. I continued on the sardine fast until Monday. I got home from the gym and I had that shaky feeling that I had before. My ketones were high. My blood sugar wasn't that bad. It wasn't that low. I believe it was 80. But I made a decision on Monday that I was going to call it, that it wasn't worth triggering an MS response. It wasn't worth possibly stressing my body out so much that the MS took control of me again. So I made a decision to call it yesterday afternoon. I am very grateful for Dr. Boz's opinion. And the reason I called her is because I know that she knows the most. And I watch all of her videos, and she really, really, really knows what she's doing. But one thing that she may not know is how I'm feeling. I wanted to communicate this to you. No matter who tells you to eat something, whether it's me saying eat a fatty red meat diet, whether it's Dr. Boz saying eat sardines, whoever it may be, you have to test this on yourself. You have to be your own N of one experiment. Eat it, take note of it, look at your symptoms or lack of symptoms, and do what is the best for you. This is why I'm talking to you today, is because I believe that we all have that ability. We all have the ability to eat whatever diet we want to. It doesn't matter what someone tells us. It's all how it makes us feel. Now, the reason I didn't abandon it right away, the symptoms started on a Thursday, and I wanted to stick it out just to see, is it my body trying to get used to this thing? What is going on? I didn't abandon it and switch to another thing. I stayed with it from Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Then the 5th day that I was experiencing symptoms, that's when I decided to call it. And I have to say I was a little bit disappointed, but I really don't want to hurt myself. I have been feeling fantastic for the past 2 years eating meat. I wanted to see if eating sardines would bring my ketone level up higher. Yes, it did. But when the ketone level went up higher, I didn't necessarily feel good. And I wanted to wait and see, would I get used to the feeling or not? And I didn't. So there's 3 things that could be going on. Did the anxiety of following this diet cause symptoms? That's number 1. Number 2, was I so unfamiliar with high ketones that I couldn't comprehend the symptoms that I was getting? So when my ketones went up to 4.8, I started feeling kind of racy, kind of like a high feeling or a drunk feeling, and yet my energy level didn't go up. So my energy level stayed the same or possibly a little lower, but my thoughts, it's really hard to explain. I had this racy feeling. If you had a couple of glasses of wine, type of woozy. So it was a very, very strange feeling. And is this feeling normal and I was unfamiliar with it? That could be number 2. Number 3, this is something that I thought of. It's just a theory. So I know that when you lose fat, you also release toxins within your fat, because that's where the toxins are stored, in your fat cells. So was I releasing fat from my fat cells and causing these toxins to flow through my blood? And were these toxins triggering symptoms? Either way, the feeling that I got was not typical for me, especially when I got the slurred speech. That really kind of frightened me a bit. I didn't abandon it right away on Sunday either. I just waited for it to resolve, and it did. And I kept a good eye on it. Was this going to happen again? It did. Not the speech part, but the strange fatigue feeling along with a racy feeling. It was like this dual reality that I was living in. The thing that I want to drive home, if you are not feeling right, if something doesn't feel right with you, you have to listen to yourself. You have to listen to what your body is telling you. After this week goes by, I may try a couple of fasting days or a couple of sardine days. I need a break right now, but maybe I'll try a couple of sardine days and just see how it goes. I did alternate day fasting, and that was really good for me. It wasn't exactly alternate day fasting. It was like, they call it a 4-3. So 3 days a week I was fasting, 4 days a week I was eating. So what it looked like was Monday, Wednesday, Friday were fast days. And Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday were eat days. So I got to eat on the weekend and then on Tuesday and Thursday. And for me, that was enough to keep my ketones in a good range. They stayed, I was in moderate to high ketosis throughout the week. So I might incorporate something like that. I'm not sure. I'm going to have to look at it. I'm going to have to weigh the options of what feels good to me. So that's all I've got for you folks. And I hope you're all doing fantastic, and just stay tuned because I'm going to have another N=1 experiment to kind of go through and share with you. So I'll see you next time. Bye bye now.